Welcome to this 15-minute informational webinar. So if you're watching this right now, it just means that you've recently watched one of the podcasts we've been featured in, or you've heard from a colleague, or seen some of the write-ups in the latest dental magazines. And you're probably just wondering what this on-call dental is really all about. So in the next 15 minutes, my main goal is to give you an idea of what it is that we're doing and why we think that you should be involved and be a part of this. So my name is Dr. Brian Harris. I'm one of the co-founders of On-Call Dental Urgent Care. And in the next 15 minutes, let's show you how, number one, to get more new patients, two, increase practice production, and three, prove to you that this implementation model that we have and that we've lined out line by line is something that you can take and implement into your own practice once you become certified and become part of the On-Call dental family. So the first thing we want you to know is that, number one, we feel your pain. So we know that the job of being a dentist is stressful at times, and especially it seems in the last couple years with all that's changing in the marketplace, that sometimes we feel like this guy on a hamster wheel, that we are just spinning faster and faster and trying to think through the latest and greatest ways of finding new patients, or the latest techniques that are going to get our patients to refer their friends and family or do more dentistry with us. And it's stressful. I mean, it seems like a never-ending battle. The funny thing is we're all out there fighting for the same 62% of the population. Really, we're out there fighting for these patients. We're lowering our fees. We're taking on more insurance plans. And all of us are just trying to see more and more new patients. And it's funny, if you look back, 4 or 5 years ago, you'd see ads like this: $79 new patient special. And then a year later, then I was seeing the $40 new patient special. And now you look out there, now it's all just free exam and x-rays. And we're trying to do anything we can just to get patients in the door. I've tried it. I've messed around with Groupons. I've done different things to just get people in the door so that I have the opportunity to try to get them to be a patient of mine for life and to try to grow my practice. And I truly feel that it is a race to the bottom. As this happens, we're just giving away more. We're doing more for less, and it's almost like we're in survival mode because we need to keep the practice profitable, but we end up just working harder instead of really stepping back and seeing, how we can differentiate ourselves as a practice. So a mentor of mine once said, he asked me the question: how do you capture a larger share of the market in your area? And we were talking back and forth, and he said, Brian, he's like, you find something that a large percent of the population needs, but few of your competitors provide. And I said, Tony, what do you mean? Explain that. And he said, well, he's like, you find something out there that the people need, but not a lot of people are doing. And so when you think about that, I shared with you the stat of 62%. 62% of the U.S. population sees a dentist on a regular basis. So that leaves 38% of the population that aren't seeing a dentist. But who's really trying to go after these patients? Who is trying to do things differently enough that they are able to attract this 38%? Because to me, 38% of the population is just massive. And so, we know that these patients often have emergencies. They're in need. They've put stuff off for years and years until it finally really hurts. And if you learn how to treat emergency patients properly, and you know how to attract them, and then you can retain them, you're there's an additional $200,000 to $300,000 per practice out there just in these patients if you can learn how to attract them. And you have to know and understand them well enough to know how to attract them. So right now it seems like this is where all of us are spending our money. I fell victim to this too. I mean, I get stuck in the trap of wanting the cool toys and the technology, but every once in a while I'll stop and think, how much has my cone beam really grown my practice? For what I paid for it, am I really seeing that many more new patients? And am I doing that much more dentistry? What about CAD CAM? A lot of the different imaging systems that are out there right now, 3D printing. There's a lot of cool stuff out there, but how much is it really growing your practice? So this is who we are. That's me on the right. Dr. Brian Harris, that is my family below. I've been in practice for 12 years, kind of with the focus of treating what matters most to people. I mean, that's kind of how we've gotten to make our name here in the Valley, here in Arizona, is just by awesome customer service and taking really good care of people. And my partner and co-founder, Dr. Steve Frost, he's an endodontist, and he has kind of done the same thing. In the last 22 years, he's treated patients, above and beyond what they're used to, and just given a high level of customer service. But he's got 22 years experience in treating emergencies, so he sees a lot of these people that have put stuff off for a long time. And so, the naturally we came together just because we shared the same vision with how we wanted to treat people, but also with his experience in treating emergencies and my experience in general dentistry. It was a really good fit. So this is how it all started. I was in the Dominican Republic, and I was doing a dental mission trip, gone for 10 days. And we all know to take 10 days out of the practice is tough. So we got back, it was a Saturday, and I had pneumonia. I was 2-3 days in with pneumonia, feeling pretty awful, knowing that, I had one day to recover, and then I had to be back to work on Monday. And I couldn't afford to miss any more work. So my wife said, "Hey, Brian, go down to the urgent care on the corner and they'll get you right in." Well, I'd never been to an urgent care location before, and so I went down there, and 15, 20 minutes later, I was out the door with the prescription. The people were great. The doctor was nice. And for the next week or two, I just kept thinking about how much there is a need for this in dentistry. We're all closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it seems to me that that's when people have the most emergencies, but there's really not a whole lot of people out there to treat them. And so I made a phone call to Steve, and I just said, "Steve, this is like 4 days later." And I said, "Steve, I just can't get this idea out of my head. Why wouldn't we open up a dental urgent care location? We see what's happening with medicine. There's 170 of these here in the Valley, and they're doing well. They're busy. So why wouldn't we open up a dental urgent care location and attract a similar type of patient?" And I think his exact words to me were, "Brian," he's like, "you just gave me the goosebumps." So I met him for breakfast, and he pulls out this notebook from 2008. Now this is in 2014 when I called him. And he said, "Brian," he's like, "in 2008, he's like, I sketched out almost the exact same concept and idea." And so that was kind of the sign to me that we're onto something pretty cool. And we kind of dove in head first to try to figure this all out and how we could implement it within our own offices here in the Valley. So not too much later, this is the front cover you can see on there, April 2014, of JADA Magazine. And the whole issue was about hospital dentistry, and for emergency dental visits. And it just talked about how much, hundreds of millions of dollars a year that these hospitals lose because they're trying to treat dental emergencies, and they got to put them through the whole same protocol that they would treat someone having a heart attack. And it just cost them a ton of money because they couldn't really treat them and profit from the visit. All they were doing is writing scripts for antibiotics and pain meds, and it's just clogging up their waiting rooms. So we took 3 years to prove the model. Like I said, back in 2014 is when it started. We literally tried everything. We went through multiple logos. We tried different concepts of the model, open different hours of the day, open later hours, and then open not as much. And we really tried to prove everything about the model to show that we had it figured out. So at the time, I had just, I was like at the peak of my career, and I finally knew I made it as a dentist because I was able to go out and I bought my first 911. And it was a 2012 911S, my dream car, really. And I had it for about 3 months, and I told Steve that I was committed to really growing this. And so I traded it in for this beauty. And for the next 2 years, I drove an on-call dental wrapped Prius all around town. So, I shared this with you just so you know how truly committed we really were in figuring this out and proving the concept here locally before we took it nationally. So Bill Gross runs a company called Idea Lab, and he talks a lot in there about companies and growth and how much of the success is because of timing. So it says 42% of the success in startup companies is because of timing, or 42% of success in new ideas. And so last year, I mean, one of the biggest words used in 2016 was the word disruption. And we saw Sears, Sports Authority, Walmart, Macy's, Limited, all these major companies closing doors. Well, at the same time, Amazon was just killing it online, which led to Walmart buying Jet. And the what we saw is the consumers are thinking differently about how they want to purchase things, how they want to do business with us as business owners. And so, it doesn't stop there. We can go through several examples. Airbnb has totally flipped the hotel market upside down, and is actually, um, a big source of competition. And I don't know if they'll make a massive dent in the hotel industry, but what they've done already with housing and travel is just pretty awesome. Blue Apron, meals getting delivered to home. We all know what Uber's done. We've got clothes companies that are shipping boxes of clothes to your house. You try on what you like, you send the rest back. They don't charge you. Heal is an MD to your home. It's a doctor house call. You pay $79 for the visit. They come, they take care of you. They write the scripts you need. We got haircut services to the house. One Medical Group is a whole different way of operating and doing medicine, and massage services to the house. So all of these things, if you'll notice what they have in common, is convenience. It's all about taking a normal product like a taxi ride and making it more convenient by being able to call with an app, and then also being able to pay through the app without having to tip the driver. And I can go through each of the examples, but I won't. So, we truly feel that the on-call dental urgent care model is, in this group of new age companies that are going after the market a little bit differently and are focused on convenience and how we attract our customers. So you even see it just in Amazon. I mean, now Amazon Prime and Amazon Prime Now, you can order things and have them within your house within an hour. So here in Arizona, you can get on and place an order, and they will hand deliver it to your house within an hour. This is just stuff from my house of, purple skates, Fruit Loops, a shot collar for a dog, an iron, all these different things that you can have at your fingertips within an hour. These bottom little buttons just go in the pantry, and when you run out of things, you just push the button and it automatically orders it and shows up at your house. So it's where things are headed, and it's moving there pretty quickly. So other factors, the timing, we got all these new grads with a lot of student loan debt that's affecting how we find work and what hours we're willing to work. We have dentists out there opening multiple offices and trying to run multiple businesses. The corporate dentistry is growing, and that's impacting us. But the biggest thing is the general public knows there's a need for treating emergencies and knows there's a need for what we're doing. And the dental profession knows there's a need. And we know that because everybody, when they hear of the concept, everybody has the same reaction of, wow, that's genius. Why hasn't anybody else thought of that? So we know the timing's right. It still wasn't right in 2014 to expand because it would have been irresponsible because we didn't truly know that the model was financially sustainable. So we knew we had to take a couple years to prove the model. So patients are already familiar with the concept. Medical urgent care is one of the fastest growing areas of healthcare, and they're projected to grow by 40%, in the next coming year. So just a ton of growth, and that's why we're riding the coattails of medical urgent care and coming up with a similar concept. So timing really couldn't be better. You are in the right place. You're in the right place at the right time to be able to take this model, incorporate it into your own practice, and see the benefits of the 160, 180, 190 new patients a month per location that we're seeing in our own offices. It's just been unreal. So it's all great in theory. Does it actually really work? So let's go through a couple stats really quick. These are our new patient numbers back from February 2015 till current. So you can see on here, we're consistently getting the 150, 170, 180 new patients a month. Glendale is only open 5 days a week. Tempe is open 7. And the couple months in Glendale where we had in the 80s and 90s is when we were closed a week or two when we were in between doctors. And so the model, it's not just 1 month of good new patient numbers. I mean, it's consistency from month after month after month. The online strategy, we see online my own Harris Dental offices, conversion rate's about 2 to 3%. So people that visit the website and the percentage of those people that actually then pick up the phone and call, 2 to 3%. That's pretty average. But on call dental, you can see, where at the top you can see 2 to 3% where the average is, and then you can see month after month for the last 2 years we're in the 15, 18, 19, 20% conversion rate. Just totally unreal for the dental market, and the SEO and online strategy companies can't even believe when they look at our numbers that they're actually doing this. We've totally unlocked the right formula of SEO and AdWords and online strategy to use to drive new patients. That's 10 times the results. So we truly look at on-call dental urgent care. It's a funnel. It's a new patient funnel. It's a lead generation company to drive leads to your own on-call dental urgent care facility, if you want to do a standalone like we have, or it's just a lead magnet to your own practice to just dump in new patients through the front door, and then we teach you how to keep them as new patients so you can grow your practice. So there's several ways to do it. That's what we've learned in the last few years. Everything from standalone actual dental urgent care locations to putting the certification sticker in the window and just keeping your hours exactly the same as they are, but taking all the new patients and seeing them the same day that we give you from the on-call dental urgent care website. So the main thing you need to know, it's not about the physical location. It's not about actually being in on-call dental urgent care. It's the mindset shift in how we care for these patients, how we treat them, and how we get them in the same day. And then once they're there, the protocols and procedures that we have in place to make sure that we can keep them as long-term patients. So it's just one of the simple things that we teach, and this is on the very, very basic level that we try to teach to the team is, the reality of what happens is it's Monday, a new patient will call, an emergency will call, we're too busy to get them in, so what do? We schedule them to Wednesday. But as soon as they hang up the phone, what they're doing is they're going to call around until they find somebody that can get them in the same day. So what happens is we lose the revenue that Monday by not seeing them, but also now they no-show on Wednesday because they got in to see somebody else. So now we've got that lost revenue on Wednesday, and then we don't get the chance to keep them as a lifelong patient. So on the simplest of levels and phone skills and what we train the front office team is, the on-call way is, no, we find a way to get them seen. And we do that by some verbal skills, and we do that by some strategies and how we work with the operatory and the chairs. That way we get the procedure production on that day by seeing them. Monday's on-call patient, that we would have moved to Wednesday, now we have that spot open to treat Monday's patient. Or if not, we still have the spot open to treat a regular patient. And then we get to convert that emergency to a lifelong patient. So the difference in being a little too busy and putting people off and not understanding the value of an emergency versus actually finding a way to get them seen and triage them and do a procedure that will get them out of pain and keep them as a lifelong patient is just tremendous when it comes to practice growth. So to be a part of what we're doing, there's really 2 ways to become certified. You can do it in person. We have live courses. And there's also the online certification. So once certified, then at that point, we help you with the implementation. We give you everything that you need to succeed. So we give you the window decals. We give you the referral pads to take to the urgent cares in the hospitals. We walk you through everything that you need to do to start your own social media page and to how to get to be features on the local news and have newspaper articles, magazines written about you. And we just walk you through everything we did, and except the difference is you get to do the things that you know are going to work, and you don't waste money like we did on so many things that we found out didn't work. So this is just a couple shots from our in-person certification course. The one benefit is, you're in a room packed full of people sharing similar ideas and masterminding together. It's really awesome. The benefit of the online course, though, is you can fast track. You can get it done on your own time as quickly as you want, and then still log into the website and and get more information as you go. So at the end of the day, really, Dr. Frost and myself, we want you to feel that hope and excitement again. We want you to feel what it is that we're feeling now. The ability as a dentist to have a business that is a second stream of income that you don't actually have to physically be there doing the dentistry. It's just something that I never experienced before. I never had the opportunity to make money unless it was me and my own handpiece spinning. And so the fact that we can do that now, that's what allows us to get out and to take, a 10, 12-day Disney cruise or to go snowboarding with the family and do those things and not feel like we're completely shutting down the office and losing money. So we truly believe what we're doing is offering hope to doctors to become busier, to have the type of income that they want, and to be able to grow their practice and their practice numbers. So at the end of the day, we go out and we'll travel all the way across the world to make a difference and to give back. But the crazy thing is there's 38% of the population right here in our own backyards that we can help too. And so we feel like the on-call dental model really is a way to do well by doing good. We can still give back to people here in the community, and we can be there to serve people, but we can make money doing it too, and we can be financially successful by doing something good. So that's our invitation for you. Join us. Join us and the rest of the on-call offices out there. Make a difference in your practice. Grow your practice numbers, grow your income, but do it in a way where there's not nearly as much competition. Instead of fighting for that 62% of those patients out there that are already seeing a dentist, join us and let us show you how to capture the 38%, which are out there waiting for us, and they're ready for us to take care of them. All you have to do is show them that you're there and give them a different model and tell them a different story than what they're normally used to. And so with that being said, we're excited to have you join us and learn more about this movement. Click one of the two buttons below, and it'll give you more information on really where we're going with this concept and what you can do to join us. And we can't wait to have you learn more about what we're doing and be a part of this with us. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any further questions, please reach out to us. We're here to help you however we can.